If some of you are just dropping in and have not watched the previous episodes 100 and 101, let me explain to you what I'm doing. I wanted to look at the 13 studio albums that the Beatles made in their career and listen to them and examine them in a little bit different way. I wanted to see if I could pick just one song from each record as my favorite. But to make it a little more interesting, I decided that if it was a hit single, it's out of the contention. So then I weed through and cut through the other songs in each album to pick just one. It's kind of challenging, and in this episode we're going to look at what I call their psychedelic period. We're going to look at Revolver, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Magical Mystery Tour, and I know it's out of chronological order, but it fits in the psychedelic theme, and that would be Yellow Submarine. Roll up, let's drop the needle. There was only one single released from this album, so we're going to say goodbye to Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby. For our first cut, we're going to lose Love You Too, She Said, For No One, Dr. Robert, and I Want to Tell You. Now, I'm not saying any of these are bad songs, but we got to narrow it down. So now we get to our second cut. Here we're going to lose the dreamy I'm Only Sleeping, the rollicking Good Day Sunshine, the goofy And Your Bird Can Sing, and the achingly beautiful Here, There, and Everywhere. A great track, but it's going to have to go. For our final cut, we're left with three songs. One from George, the great opening track, Taxman, which starts with kind of a parody of the 1, 2, 3, 4 exuberant countdown from years ago, and I saw her standing there. This countdown is a little bit more world-weary. One from John, the otherworldly and weird Tomorrow Never Knows. Now, I know we've all heard of one-hit wonders. Tomorrow Never Knows was not a one-hit wonder, but it was a one-chord wonder. The entire song is only one chord. And one from Paul, Got to Get You Into My Life, which he later admitted he wrote about marijuana. So for my one song for this album, I think I'll share a toke with Paul, and I'll take Got to Get You Into My Life. For the album that's considered their masterpiece, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, they released no singles. Now, this is really hard. I have memorized all of those tracks, and they are all considered classics. But I set myself up for this task, so here we go. No singles. Here's our first cut. Say goodbye to Getting Better, Fixing a Hole, When I'm 64, and John Lennon's song inspired by a cereal commercial, Good Morning. For the second cut, it'll get harder, but let's say goodbye to With a Little Help from My Friends, Within You, Without You, She's Leaving Home, Lovely Rita, and the rocker Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Reprise. Now for our final cut, we're left with four classic songs. The title track, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the amazing Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, and, of course, A Day in the Life. Well, I think this is pretty obvious. If you're going to cull these down, the one that always will rise to the top is A Day in the Life. Next up is Magical Mystery Tour, the movie and the soundtrack. And once again, side one is songs from the movie, and side two are other songs. Let's look at the track listing for both sides. There was only one single released from the Magical Mystery Tour side, and that was I Am the Walrus. Great song, but we automatically have to cut it. But on side two, they're all singles, so they're out. So now let's go back and look at side one. For our first cut, what are we going to lose? Say Goodbye to Flying. Not a bad instrumental track, and one of the few songs credited to all four of the Beatles. Next, we'll get lost in the hills of Los Angeles, and we'll lose George's Blue Jay Way. Interesting song, but not one of his best. And we'll lose Paul's music hall production piece, Your Mother Should Know. That leaves just two songs, so for our final cut, it's a battle between Paul and Paul. You have the really nice Fool on the Hill and the amazing lead song, the title to the movie, the title to the album, Magical Mystery Tour. So my pick is Magical Mystery Tour. Although technically out of order, Yellow Submarine, the soundtrack to the movie, fits in with all of the psychedelic style music. So it's included here. Side 1 is filled of Beatles songs that they wrote, where side 2 is instrumentals that George Martin wrote for the film. So let's focus on side 1. Yellow Sub and All You Need Is Love are singles, so they're both out, and that only leaves us with 3. So let's go directly to the final cut. Only a Northern Song, a George Harrison song that is both brilliant and confusing at the same time. All Together Now, that's just Paul being cute. So that leaves us with the only rocker on the album, the terrific Hey Bulldog. Ruff. Wow, so much great music made on those 3 albums. Let's do a recap. From Revolver, I picked Got to Get You Into My Life. From Sgt. Pepper's, my pick was A Day in the Life. From Magical Mystery Tour, I picked the title track, Magical Mystery Tour. And from Yellow Submarine, the great Hey Bulldog. After this rather trippy psychedelic period, the lads decide to tackle some incredible projects, a sprawling double album, and their amazing last 2 albums. But that's for a future episode. Thanks for watching, and keep a rockin'. If you liked this episode, hit the like button, and you can also leave me a comment down below, and I'll respond to you. If you subscribe, we'll let you know when future episodes come out.